Hey, Karma Collector here. All right, one last video before I got to hop in the shower and start getting ready so I can go to my reservations tonight. I'm excited, man. It's one of these fancy restaurants that has the chef, whatever they call it, chef tasting or chef menu, whatever the fuck. You know, where you get the fancy courses and the wine paired with it and all that shit, man. Oh my God. So I'm excited about that. But anyway, so one last video, man, because this shit's driving me crazy today, man. It's driving me crazy today, man. I can't stop thinking about these motherfuckers and this fake baby shit. Okay, guys, listen. Evidence. We got to talk about evidence, man. What's proof and what's evidence, okay? Because what has happened here is a lot of you have been conditioned to believe that you guys don't have legal training, and that's fine. I understand that. And these big content creators, most of them don't have any legal training that I know of, and they come on and they present this shit to you, and they're doing a good job. But I'm not saying people have to have legal training to come on here, but they've conditioned you all to believe that if there's no screenshot for it, if Google doesn't say it, if there's no video, basically, if there's nothing black and white, tangible, basically direct evidence, you all don't accept that. You tell me, we need proof, evidence, proof. Where's the proof? You talk and talk and talk, but there's no proof. The shit I'm telling you is proof, okay? Not everything's going to be direct evidence. In fact, most murder trials, you can't get a conviction without circumstantial evidence. Usually, a good defense attorney can explain away direct evidence, man. All right? The most common direct evidence are confessions and eyewitness accounts. Okay, where they can the person that's on the stand can actually say firsthand what they saw, heard, whatever. Okay, or confessions. Of course, that's golden. That's what the police want. That's why they call you down there. They want you to confess to it, right? That's golden. That's the best direct evidence here is a confession. The next most common is eyewitness testimony, but that's faulty, man. That's a lot of times no good. People lie. People's visions fucked up. People think they saw what they thought. Other people put shit in their head that they believe. So those are the two most common kind. All right. Besides that, direct evidence is like a recording of something or in a document. It's basically a piece of evidence that all by itself can stand on its own and prove something is true or show that something sure looks like it's that. All right. Indirect or circumstantial evidence, which I'm telling you is better in a lot of times. Because again, these direct evidence things, a good defense attorney, man, I've seen it happen, man, where the witness for the state is up there and boy, it looked good. Boy, they sounded good, man, and they had it together with the state question. And then all of a sudden, that fucking defense attorney gets up there and tears them, makes them look all confused, like they were lying. They don't know what the fuck they were talking about. All right? Just like fingerprints and DNA, which those are both circumstantial evidence too. But they can explain that away too. Just because you have someone's fingerprints or someone's DNA, you know it's theirs. You have to be able to explain the circumstances surrounding, like where you found it. Well, why it's there. Well, what do you mean? Just because their DNA is there, everyone's got DNA, right? You still have to. That's still circumstantial evidence. All right. And what I'm trying to tell you guys is, and then circumstantial evidence is something that you have to use a presumption or an inference. Okay. And the stuff that I'm trying to show you and what I'm telling you, what actually is I'm showing you and I'm pointing things to you that is saying, okay, she's not because of, it can't be because of, it has to be because of. And if those because ofs and the have to are true, then what I'm telling you is true. You don't have to have a recording or a screenshot or Google say it. You can think. You're not supposed to leave your common sense at the door and your reasoning. Okay? Circumstantial evidence, I'm telling you, it's virtually impossible to prove a murder without it. Okay? And all these people say, well, you talk and talk and talk, but you have no proof that she never gave birth. No proof. I've given you so much circumstantial evidence. If I could make a mock trial of this, I would, a jury of her peers, I could get a conviction for sure presenting what I have. Okay? You guys, come on, man. You got to use the good sense that God and Granny gave to you. All right? You cannot prove a negative. And I'm asking again, someone give me an intelligent answer in the comments. What is this one golden piece of evidence that you want? You keep asking, well, show me the proof. Give me this golden piece of evidence that would prove to you that she did not have a baby, and I'll see what I can do. The only thing I can think of would be if I had hired a cameraman to follow her around 24/7, and I could document that that was true, that we did that somehow, from sometime in February or March all the way up until after December 28th, and be able to show you that 24/7, that entire time, she never went to any OBGYN appointments, and she never got up on a delivery table and spit out a baby. And then that's the only way I can think of otherwise. But when I tell you all these things that points to it has to be or it can't be, and for certain things, and a lot of times it's the law I'm showing you. It's like, that's counter to the law. And you all act like, well, she's so special. GYPSY's at 1 in a million that they did it. You guys, number one. No, so here we go. Let's talk about a few of them. Number one, no one pregnant in America, or probably anywhere else, is going to get their divorce finalized when they're still pregnant. There's no reason to. You are pregnant for a finite amount of time. The longest is 10 months, 40 weeks, 10 lunar months, 9 calendar months, whatever. That's the longest you can be pregnant. You're not holding out on anybody. They always continue it. They always do. Doesn't matter if paternity is an issue. It doesn't matter until after the baby's born. They always do it. And why do you think that she's special? Why the fuck do you think that GYPSY's the 1 out of a million that they just did that for? And what would be the reasoning? What would be the reason that they asked for to rush up the divorce? Why? She's not in a hurry to get married. She can't get a ring from this cat to save her fucking life. Why? There's no reason for it, guys. And there is no mechanism in the family law court system to ask to speed it up, to ask to expedite. You can't. You cannot, guys. The court system does not work by you just walking in and verbally saying shit and doing whatever. When you have oral arguments, there's a motion that goes with it. Anything you do, there is a motion, a petition that goes with it. Anything. You may say something verbally in court and the judge will be like, okay, I'll grant that or whatever. But then you're still going to write out the motion that goes with it later, or the petition. And for everything. You don't just formally walk in there and say, hey, you want to finalize this case today? That'd be cool, man. Was she still pregnant? No, guys. There is no petition or motion that you can file to ask the judge to speed things up. And that means it can't be done. And there's no reason for her to do it. No one gets a divorce. Again, you can file, you can do mitigate, all that shit, mitigation, all this other shit, motion hearings, you can do all these things, man. But they're not going to finalize it till after the baby's born, period. And that right there is a fact. Okay? That is a circumstance that she cannot get around. That is a fact. And because of that, she did not give birth. Okay? The idea that she was divorced, finalized on December 9th, and we know that is a fact, means that there's no way she gave birth on December 28th. No way. And that evidence tells you that is a fact. You don't need anything else, man. Okay, the next one. And this is where GYPSY fucked up, because they wanted to be extra. Another one of those proof of baby things. Their stupid thing with that fake birth certificate. Oh, look. Officially been changed from Anderson to Urker. Okay, that's where she messed up, guys. Because now she brought the government into their deal there. If she wouldn't have done that, tried to be all extra, see how they're doing? All extra with that birth certificate, I may not even have mentioned this. But when she did that, that opened the door. Because since the baby would have been in the bounds of that marriage, then in order for them to change it like that, they would have had to do a DNA test, and they would have tested Ryan first, period. Or that birth certificate would have been changed. And there is no, and with any establishment legally of paternity, period. It doesn't matter how amicable the relationship, how everyone's getting along, it always has an accompanying court order that says, petition to establish the paternity of a minor child. And that order is what you take to go get the test done. Okay? And you cannot use a non-invasive, because a legal paternity test, the father sample must be accompanied with the baby sample and the mother sample, and they have to all be in the same bag. They have to arrive together. DNA analysis is a comparative study. It's not willy-nilly. They look at the baby, say, guys, The minute of conception, when your first sperm and egg unite, that first split off into 4 daughter cells, that's it. And then after that, that first one's meiotic division. After that, it's mitotic division, which means they just copy themselves, right? But that first time when it splits off into 4 daughter cells, what has happened is you get 50% of your DNA from the mother and 50% from the father. The whole string of, let's think of it this way, the whole string of billions of little genes you have goes right down the row. And automatically, when it happens, automatically goes down the thing and it picks one of the mother. It either takes the father's gene or the mother's gene, all the way down. Okay? Random, I guess. It's only got one or the other it can take for every one of them. And then what they're going to do, guys, is there's certain markers that they look at. If the baby doesn't match the mother on certain ones, it has to take the father's on that gene. And if it doesn't match, then right there you can rule out this is not the father, this is not the man that contributed the DNA. It's someone else. Now, if you've got the baby and it's in certain genes it's matching this person, okay, fine. But then you got some that, well, and then some different things it's matching the mother's. Well, okay, that's fine. It could be anybody's because it took it from the mother, right? Even though some of them might be that the mother and the father have the same marker on that. You understand what I'm saying? But when you get to the point where you see, okay, this certain thing, like say blood type, or just we'll say eye color, or are they going to have dimples? I'm just picking some shit at random. It has to take either the mother or the father. It has to. If it's not matches the mother's and it doesn't match this dude, then it's not him, and they can rule you out. They have to. The samples must arrive together. It is a comparative analysis. It's not just willy-nilly. Oh, well, there's his DNA, there's my DNA. Let's take a look at them. Okay? The non-invasive you can't use because the babies, there is no baby sample. They're from the mother's blood, they are spinning it down and out of the serum, the plasma, they are pulling out, they're able to pull out and isolate strands of the baby's DNA that are freely flowing in there, supposedly somehow, but it is very accurate. However, they don't use it for that because there's no sample for the baby to arrive there. They won't do it that way. They're not going to take Gypsy's blood work and do it with his like that. They won't do that. They always wait till after the baby is born. If there was really a baby, they could have done a non-invasive and found out it was his. And then after the baby was born, then they would have ordered court ordered it on him to make sure, and then they would have done the deal. So that right there tells you, because of this, she did not give birth. And it's an impossibility. There are no petitions to establish paternity of a minor child in any of their 3 names in the entire history of the state of Louisiana, period. There aren't. All right. I told you about the name change. Can't do that. You have to file it with the district court. You have to. And there are no petitions for name change. Okay? She's the one that involved the government in it. She opened the door to it. I probably wouldn't have said a word about it. All right? So, we got those things. Again, use the good sense that God and Granny gave to you. Don't leave your common sense at the door. Ken Urker said on that People magazine or whatever, an interview in like the month before Father's Day when this baby was like 4 months old. Oh, she's just now opening her eyes and developing a social smile. Guys, our children's eyes were open when they made it out of the delivery room. It's not a baby kitten. He's full of shit. And that alone should tell you he's lying. He's making that up because he doesn't know anything about babies, man. How about on a podcast, he says, oh, yeah, she's growing like a weed. We're upping Aurora a bottle a week. What the fuck does that mean? That does not happen with babies, man. That sounds like a fucking baby goat whose mother rejected it. That is not a person that's caring for an infant. That alone tells you she did not give birth and they are not caring for a fucking baby. You guys quit playing dumb, man. You big content creators that are playing along with this, man. You act like you're so smart and the evidence and this and that and the medical records. Oh, and this document, look at here. Look what I found. Look at this. But you're too fucking stupid to understand what I'm saying, that it can't be that she had a baby and these things be true. Can't be. That's what I mean, guys. These big content creators are playing games, man. They're playing games. They know good and damn well she never gave birth, man, and they're playing along, all of them. How about when Gypsy's 5 minutes pregnant talking about, oh my God, I'm nesting? That should have told you right then she's lying about it, man. How come Gypsy says it's vaginal birth and fucking her best friend in the world is talking about she had a C-section but doesn't need to show you the scar? You guys, these are all pieces of circumstantial evidence that point to she didn't have a baby because... Don't leave your common sense at the door, man. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I'll see you in the next video. Happy Mother's Day. I love you guys, man.